Hi, this is John. I'm just back from a little under 2 weeks of an experiment in what I call working from not home. 2 weeks was split between southern Utah outside of Zion National Park and Jackson Hole in and outside of Grand Teton National Park. So I'm here at home cleaning up and thought I'd talk a little about how I solved power and internet for my working from not home. But perhaps first, it's been raining here in San Diego, and there's part of Wyoming that's coming off of my car. So a little cleanup to do here. This also is I'm about halfway cleaned up here, but you can see my bed in the back of the 4Runner. Here is the table that I used in my little office setup. If I come around here, up on top, you're going to see a big antenna. That's it's an add-on from the WeBoost cell booster. That antenna comes down here, goes inside the car, runs down the door, and then connects to the WeBoost device, which sits under the seat here. And then this here is the power, which is connected to the car right now, but when I was camping it connected to a solar power setup. And then it runs around the front of the vehicle, and there is a inside antenna that I have velcroed right here, right next to where my cell phone sits. And on top of that, this is my Verizon MiFi device that I velcroed directly onto that for the best reception. We'll go switch videos now to a run through of the setup that I made in southern Utah, about 5 miles outside of Zion National Park, to show how everything connected there in the field and went into my office setup. This is John Moore, and this is my work from not home setup in southern Utah, just outside of Zion National Park. So there's my table and chair and computer for work, set up inside of a Gazelle screened-in gazebo, looking out over the canyons. And come back over here. You might have noticed, actually, as I go over here, there's a power cord, extension cord, going into the window of the 4Runner. There is a big cell phone booster antenna on the roof of the 4Runner. Come up here. There's my solar panel that got damaged. It was flipped by the wind on day one. There's the big gouge from the rock. That goes in the cable here. This is where I really wish I had a longer cable. It goes in that door of the 4Runner. So the WeBoost cell phone booster has that antenna there. It goes in here. The unit is under the driver's seat. And then the power cord goes up there. And because I need to plug a whole bunch of stuff in to make this whole thing work, the Jackery sits up here in the middle of the front, currently pulling 65 watts using 74 at the moment. Here's the power cord coming in from the gazebo. This cable here is going to my Verizon MiFi device that needs to be powered. It runs out of battery during the day if I don't have it powered. It's sitting on top of the secondary antenna for the cell phone booster. And then this here is the power for the cell phone booster. And here is the solar panel cable coming in from the other window. So as you can see, it's kind of a tight setup. All of these cables are pretty maxed out, but I've got to power something under the seat, the driver's seat, something over in the gazebo, and something sitting on the dashboard all at the same time. Okay, so this was an about 2-week experiment in working from at home. Was originally planned to start right after Labor Day weekend, when there would have been a whole lot more daylight and it would have been warmer, but life intervened. So end of October, beginning of November, there wasn't a whole lot of daylight. There wasn't a whole lot that I could do outside of work, and it was definitely colder. But that had really nothing to do with the experiment and working from at home. It still worked and was still fun, just maybe less than it would have been right after Labor Day. The two big problems I think that you have to solve to work from at home are power and internet, and maybe some physical space issues. You saw the screened gazebo that I used and table and chair, and that was nice and necessary, but easier to solve than power and internet. For power, I went with Jackery, the 500. I was concerned that the 240 wouldn't be enough battery if I had several cloudy days. And then one of the 100-watt solar panels. The Jackery worked out great. I never got below 70-something% on the battery. I also have it in the back of the car here when I'm driving. It's connected to the 12-volt in the back of the 4Runner, so that it powers when I'm driving, at least for longer trips. But the solar worked fine. I didn't have a big series of cloudy days, so that was good. And if I had cloudy days, I could have reduced my usage some and made it through a number of them before the battery ran out. I did have one issue with the solar panel. It was windy the first day in Utah, and it got flipped and dragged over one of the ever-present rocks in southern Utah and got a big gouge in it. However, it kept charging just fine. So it's damaged. You can see the big gouge, but it charges fine. I was in touch with Jackery and let them know that I was kind of heartbroken, but it seemed to still be charging, and they were kind enough to actually send me a replacement solar panel. So that was very nice of them. In terms of the WeBoost, the first campsite in southern Utah actually had pretty good internet, so I couldn't really tell whether that was helping there. I don't know why. It was a long way from anything, but it had 2-3 bars of both AT&T and Verizon. So I don't really know if the WeBoost cell booster helped there. But when I got up to Grand Teton National Park, inside the park and outside in the Forest Service land where I camped and set up my little office, I could definitely tell a difference there. I've spent a fair amount of time there. The cell service is pretty mixed for AT&T to non-existent in places for AT&T around there. And I had cell service driving around the park in places that I've never had it before, and strong enough to do all kinds of stuff. It was, I could definitely tell the difference in my little office there overlooking the Tetons, that I had pretty good there. The work I did through Verizon, which is stronger in the park, but it was definitely stronger than I think it would have been without the booster. AT&T was absolutely stronger than it would have been without the booster. So it worked. I can go and work from someplace other than home. Just right now in November and December may not be the time to do it. So plan a little more on next year when unfortunately we'll probably all still be working from home. So thanks for listening. Bye.